Hey folks, this is Ken McArthur, best-selling author of Impact, How to Get Noticed, Motivate Millions, and Make a Difference in a Noisy World, and the director of the Impact Factor movie and the Impact Events. I'm the producer of that, and we just got off a great weekend at the Impact event. This is the Impact Master Panel, and our panelists today are...
Dan Tbone Jones.
Frank Tbone Garon.
Tbone.
Oh, me. I don't know. I'm Larry Steinhouse.
You are, aren't you?
I know. I am the Larry Steinhouse. There's only one. You know, when I was a kid, I used to think Larry Steinhouse was a terrible name, but it's not. It's a great name because nobody else has it.
Nobody else wanted it.
That's the coolest part. Right, exactly. So that's the coolest part, that nobody else has it.
That's fantastic. And we have Pratibha Day with us today. I practiced your name all week long. Pratibha Day. Did I come close at all?
Yes. Thank you so much for saying my name correctly. God bless you.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. Pratibha is a mental health care person.
A mental health care person?
Yeah. You should,
wait,
let
me get this straight. This is we prepare for this show every week, and we prepare so well that the title for Pratibha is she's a mental health care person.
Yeah, that's exactly. So
no wonder she's connected to me. I mean, anybody knows that I need a lot of mental health.
Yeah,
care.
that's for sure. So she's had a great background in a behavioral health technician and a primary care coordinator and former family violence prevention specialist. This sounds, she studied ethics. That'll help you out, Larry. There you go. So she's got a wide background.
What was that about?
I'm almost
Larry,
ready to say poor Larry.
This is your intervention.
Really?
If I would have gave this background for my interview this morning, I would have not gotten a second interview at all. It butchered it.
Anyway, we had the joy of meeting Pratibha on the at the Impact event, and we heard about some of the amazing work that she's doing, and we're really happy to have you on the hot seat. So thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody what this show's about, Ken?
This show is about bringing your ideas, your products, your services, anything you want to do to make the world better, and we're going to help you do it. So you, first of all, the procedure here basically is you get about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how kind everybody's feeling at the moment, and to describe your project. And then we're going to ask you to ask us the questions that you would like to have answered, and we're going to try and help you make your dreams reality. So we're going to do our very best, and we're enthusiastic to have you on. So tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay. Yeah, so I started tying together a community, which stands for Courage, Hope, and Inspiration, and started showcasing my own journey of having a parent with schizophrenia. Then it turned out to be interviews with other people from all different networks, higher in the industry, and just people of all walks of life, and their own mental health overcomings. And how do we really overcome that? And every single person has a journey in this world. So that's really what I showcased for these last 3 years. So I created a Facebook group, and the maximum amount of people that I've had is 1,600 something. And really just started doing more summits, doing workshops and mentorship, one-to-ones. And I've created this free community, given a lot of free content, a lot of help to people, but I have not been able to see in which ways I want to monetize it that's still ethical to my values, yet still make money and help people at the same time. So that's where I stand today. And I also launched my own mugs over the pandemic, and I sold them globally, and that was fantastic. Yeah, I was not able to scale that because it was just myself, and I burnt out from video podcasting and doing marketing and everything myself. So that's where I am today in 2024.
Fantastic. So any clarifying questions from the panel?
All right, I just want to get this right. So you're a mental health professional, correct?
Yes.
And you have licenses, whatever they are?
I'm not licensed. I'm not a clinician.
Okay, so what makes you qualified to be a mental health professional?
I've worked in the field. I have personal life experience and then professional experience. So you can still be a mental health professional but not have a clinical license. And there's a lot of holistic practices you can do as a mental health professional too, which are outside of the system. So you're not working for the system. Yeah.
Okay, the only reason I want to clarify that is because, it's funny, I say this all the time. I'm a coach, right? And I'm really glad I'm not a therapist, because if you want to get coddled, go to your therapist. If you want to change your life, come to me, and I'll coach you on how to be that way. But I'm just curious to know, like, if you say you're a mental health professional, what legalities are you bound to?
And what are the ethical questions? You mentioned ethical questions as far as making money and stuff like that. So what are the big questions for you in terms of the ethics of doing this?
Well, I'm really worried about legally. I mean, she could give somebody advice with the word mental health professional. They go and commit suicide, and the family now sues her, even puts her in jail. So I'm just a little concerned about that. And I don't know anything about the profession, so maybe you could just clarify that.
Yeah, no. And that's exactly what I'm not doing. So when I launched my program, I created a collective program. I worked with a coach, and that was something that came up, but I directly said in the contract that I am not a clinician, and I made all those things, very clarified. And whether people still wanted to work with me or not is upon them. But this is exactly the tricky area of having my community, because there's a lot of people, who may have severe things going on, mild to severe, which I may not know about. They may not even know about themselves. That's the whole, aspect of mental health, that it's so broad, and, we don't have the answers, or we're not God. And we can only do as much as we know based on our own understanding, self-education, but also our own bias, which you always have to remember to take out from that aspect when you're helping heal people. And it can only go to a certain extent, because there's a lot of, so I'm very spiritual on my path. And when I say spiritual, I mean healing to me is as much as I understand myself and what capacity can I help the other individual, as much as they allow, because what I've learned is it's about everyone's own individual soul journey. And when I say soul journey, that means it's something beyond me. Right? Like if someone's karmic debt is that they're supposed to experience this ailment in their life, this is what I believe, that for them to proceed and detach myself and let go of that codependency and wanting to fix people or be a problem solver, or, the savior complex, things like that. That's not who I am and who I want to be.
So you're woo-woo.
Right. What is it?
You're woo-woo. You're woo-woo.
Woo-woo. What is woo-woo?
Woo-woo. Woo-woo. You know what woo-woo is?
Woo-woo. Oh, you said woo-woo. Okay.
Yeah. It's an old guy term.
Yeah, I understand.
But that's so what do you title yourself?
That's a great question. What do I title myself? A community builder. That's what I've titled myself.
Well, community builder and mental health professional are so far apart in definitions that I need to understand what you would title yourself.
I don't know. I don't put a specific identity to myself. And, that's exactly what I'm unveiling day by day, as in, what is it that I want to do exactly? Because I don't have just one thing I do. I've done multiple
Be careful.
things.
I'm not talking about what you want to do. I'm talking about what you title yourself.
Because that has repercussions, is what you're saying.
He's just concerned, I think, about the legal aspects of it.
Right. So let me actually go back to the legal aspect. That's why I actually don't do coaching or anything specific when it comes to trauma.
So the funny part is coaching would be the right title.
Right.
Mental health professional would be a title that will get you in trouble.
But I didn't call myself mental health professional. Ken did.
I know. It's my fault.
I know, but that's the point.
So
what do you call yourself?
Well, I don't call myself anything. I call myself Prativa. See, let's not get caught up so much about the titles and things like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we were trying to help you. We're trying to help you. So if you would like our help, we can continue on, and we will let it go. But just understand that don't tell us not to get caught up in titles. We're trying to help you. But all right, let's move on, because maybe that'll come by the end of the show. But I think it's a serious problem, and you got to be aware of it.
It's only a serious.
But you didn't even let me complete, what I was saying about that. I said that's exactly why I don't do any one-to-ones or any work directly, because I'm not certified to do so. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, so tell me exactly what you want to do and what you want to accomplish.
Okay. At this time, I'm not going to continue this panel, but I appreciate your time.
See,
Thank
I
you,
love
Larry.
it.
Thank you.
I love it. This is where the people who come on this show, they ask for help and they're like, no, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, but they don't want to be on the show.
You wouldn't let it go. You
wouldn't let her go. All I did was ask her what she wants to be called.
And she answered the question.
No, she didn't answer the question. She couldn't answer the question. She said she doesn't know.
Okay. She said
Let me tell you how important this was to her. This was so unimportant to her that she's in her car. She's not even sitting in front of her computer.
Larry, the purpose of the show is not to attack the person.
No, I didn't. I didn't even get to attacking her yet. I asked her a simple question like, "What is she?"
Well, first of all, the whole idea of her being in her car is she asked me, and I said she should because that's where most of her content's done, so it's on brand for her.
Well, I don't know, but she drives a car.
That's where she does most of her content.
She
drives in a car while she's helping people.
She doesn't drive in the car. That's where she films her content. Right?
People.
Yeah.
So, she doesn't have a home. She doesn't have an office.
I didn't get that far. I had a whole line of questioning. I was.
I have a whole line of questioning too. I couldn't even get past what she does.
Well, part of the problem was that you were focused on one aspect, which is not what she's
to know what she does, so I can help her.
I know, but there could have been more constructive ways to find that out.
All I did was ask her repeatedly, "What do you do? What do you do? What do you want to call yourself?" I don't even think I was over the line. I mean, I know when I'm over the line. I wasn't even close yet.
Yeah, it's just that what she wanted to discuss wasn't what you wanted to discuss. What she wanted.
I wanted to find out what she wanted to do so I could know what to do to help her.
Yeah.
She couldn't tell me what she wanted to do. Did you guys figure out what she wanted to do?
No, I do. Right? And my question to her is does she want to keep doing what she's doing and monetize that, or does she want to take it in different directions and monetize that? That's where I was getting.
You spoke to her before.
Yes.
So you know what she wants to do. So
I really don't.
Hold on a sec.
I don't.
You don't either.
I know basically what I know coming into this.
So you don't know either?
No.
So Frank, did you figure out what she wanted to do?
No.
So all I did was ask her what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, but
you fired back with the whole we're trying to help you here, and that should have just been let go. Like, okay, let's just strike that and move on.
We were moving on. Then I was like, okay, what do you want to do? I don't want to be on the show. Okay.
Here's my perception of it, and I don't know exactly what she wanted to do either. But I think the question was, what does she want to do? She's built a community.
Right.
She's built a community up. She's trying to help people in that community. She'd like to monetize it. I think that was her problem.
I don't know. She never answered the question.
But we didn't get to that.
Well, she left.
You wouldn't shut up.
All I want to know is what she did, so I can help her.
So that's basically it. I mean, it's you managed to tick her off enough that she didn't want to be in that environment anymore.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I would have.
No. What do you do?
What do I do? Yeah. I can tell you what I do.
I know.
Or anyone of,
I know.
Of
and so could Dan, and so could Frank, and I can tell you what I do. But and so can anybody watching the show. They can tell me what they do.
Yeah.
She can't tell you what to do.
Yeah, but.
what?
The question was, so many times I think when we come to hot seats and things like that, the question
it's a hot seat for a reason.
Should be. The question should be, if you don't know what you want to do, the question should be, what should I do?
Fine.
But we didn't get that far because you ticked her off.
No, we didn't get that far because she's a child. She's an immature child who's like, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm nothing. I don't want to be on. I don't want to be interrogated. I don't want to be helped.
Larry.
All right, I'm acting like a child. I guess.
Yeah, you're acting like
a child. That's the thing is,
exactly right.
We sometimes compare this to Shark Tank, which is where the entrepreneur comes on and acts like they've got this great idea for the next new product and service, and they rip them apart. Someone like Pratibha comes on, she's looking for direction, not to be. I mean, sure,
understand that. All I want to know is what does she do so I can help her with direction.
Well, again, to her point,
what do you do?
We kind of imposed the whole title thing on her. That's not even what she came to us.
I know, and then we moved on from that. Right. And the next question is, okay, what do you do? We're 15 minutes into the show. What do you do? I just want to know what you do so I can help you. I can't. If she wants to weave baskets, then I could tell her where to get the materials for baskets. If she wants to help people with mental health, then I can help her with that too. But she hasn't gone to the point where she wants to help her.
But you can't help her if you scare her off or or intimidate her.
Intimidate her by asking her what she does.
Whatever the process was.
The only people that would be intimidated.
that she didn't want to work with you in this situation would be my guess. She said the panel, but I think
bye-bye.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, but I would have liked to have helped her.
I would have liked to help her too if I could figure out what she wanted to do.
Yeah. But the problem is that some people do not react well to the drill sergeant.
What drill sergeant? I wanted to know what she does. What do you do?
Yeah. What do you do?
For 10 minutes, she still has not answered the question of what she does. She rambled on.
Yeah. Okay.
About nothing. I wanted to know what she does.
I know.
So I can help her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's true about rambling on about nothing. That's the whole point of when you're
She
trying
didn't
to
ramble
get
on.
it.
But she didn't
articulate it. She was pretty articulate.
Oh yeah. So tell me what she does.
She's built a community.
No. What does she
people.
do based on what she
That's
told
what
us
she
today?
does. That's
what she told us on the
does.
show today. What did she? Not what you know. Not what you know. Because
I'm
you
saying
talked
what
to
she
her.
talked.
She talked about community building.
She
I
talked
remember
about
that.
So community building is such a vague statement. What does she want to do in this community?
Yeah, she said she had 1,600 people. She wanted to build a community, and her struggle was the ethics of monetizing it, which I get what Larry was saying because there is legal stuff, and then I believe she cleared that up, and then things went south fast.
Yeah,
So-
I mean and that aspect right there is so easy to navigate by saying I'm a coach. I'm not
Exactly.
just like you do. We're saying
But
I'm not a
That's
lawyer.
exactly-
I'm not an accountant
yeah,
like we do.
So
Yeah.
far, I gave her a great piece of information, and then she ran away.
I don't think she's
Well,
coaching.
She should.
No,
That's
she
exactly
said-
what she should do.
Yeah, she said she wasn't doing one-on-one
She
coaching.
said she's not coaching. She's just built a community. She tried to sell a few mugs during the pandemic.
I was
That's
curious
she's
what
done
That's
so
fine.
far.
I was curious what the mugs were. Were they mental health mugs or?
It's based on
Could
and I know this based on
It could have been
you know,
this,
what she's
this
told
mug.
me.
I survived coronavirus.
It's her
Could be.
Chai Together community it's a brand.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
she had branded mugs based on
That
that.
was have
and
Chai
here's
together.
let me give my advice and direction to if she's still listening. I hope
Oh,
so.
she's
If-
not
if
listening.
She's not listening. She ran away.
Anybody else who has a new branded product that they want to sell and they don't want to fulfill it themselves is go get yourself a nice print-on-demand count and make sure that there's going to be some people that buy it.
And she's welcome to come back on. She still has the link.
I think that we ought to clearly try and define, exactly what people are trying to do when they start out.
Of course.
And
It was a simple question.
I know it was a simple question for you to ask. It wasn't a simple question for her to answer.
Of course. So that's what she got. She got frustrated. She wasn't mad at me. She's mad at herself. She wasn't prepared for this. She came in not knowing what she does, so she's looking for other people to give her advice to, I don't know, maybe make money. I don't know. I don't know what her financial situation is. Maybe it's a desperate situation. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if she's looking to make money doing something, believe me, the four of us could help her dramatically.
I'm sure we could if we could get through the initial stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to subject yourself to this panel,
And learn something. But
then you can go to impactmasterpanel.com and there's an application form on there if you want to be on the show. Be aware that we're going to take your project and we're going to look at it as realistically as we can. My goal in this show is to lift people up and to enable them to actually complete their projects. Larry would love to give them a reality check, and I am all for that. So warning somebody of the legal ramifications of what they do is a danger point that we want to protect people from. And knowing what you want to accomplish is very, very helpful. Sometimes, though, you don't know what you want. You've got a vague idea. She wants to help people. I think that is really, really clear. She wants to help people in this. I don't think that she wants to do coaching necessarily. I don't think that she wants to portray herself as a mental health professional, and it was my mistake to label her that way.
yeah, that's
I was
okay.
just-
I realized I labored that a little bit too long. When she told me that was what it was, I was fine. I was like, okay, so what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And that's where we were. That's where it ended.
But we shouldn't probably tell people that they want to be a coach, or they should label it as a coach, because we hadn't discovered what she wanted to do yet.
Exactly.
So that's part of the problem. I agree with that. Thoughts, Frank?
I thought last week's call went really well.
So last week, actually, did you know the doctor? Has he done a video every day?
Every single day.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I want my
about-
100 hours.
And have you noticed that the video, the first one was terrible, right? And the second was a little bit better, and then each one's getting better and better.
Yeah.
And the neat part about that is that's exactly what we talked about. We talked about the fact that nobody's going to be watching the first one, or the second one, or the third one. Yeah. And, we're watching it because we're curious.
He's got people watching it now, and he did what we all do in marketing, which is
it
A/B
was one
test.
he had 13 or 14 likes on. And the first one he had 1 like,
Yeah.
and then he had 13 or 14 likes, so it's getting better and better all the time.
He switched to his phone instead of his laptop, so it's a better camera. He switched to better audio. He asked his audience, "Do you prefer portrait or horizontal format?" So he's doing the A/B testing
so
already.
Absolutely, he's absolutely doing exactly. So it's too bad for Tiba that you didn't want to answer the question of what you did, because we could have helped you just like we helped this other guy. But that's all right. Children are children. What can I tell you? Hey, you know what I've noticed about mental health professionals?
You know what I've noticed about Larry? There's a lot of name calling and stuff. I wish you'd just can it.
Larry, who hurt you, bud?
Who hurt me?
Who hurt you?
Yeah, we could go into psychodynamic.
There's a lot of trauma there.
I think it was Ken.
It could have been
This
me.
is all
It
your
could have been
fault,
me. He's
Ken.
known me for a long,
It
long
must have
time.
been Ken.
Well, yeah. So that went well.
What do you?
They can't all be last week's, I guess.
We could do an intervention if you'd like. Go right ahead. We got nothing else to do for half an hour.
Stop scaring people away.
Yeah, right, exactly. Stop scaring people away.
I'm not scaring people away. First of all, the first guy we had on here, right? He was all offended that I hurt his feelings. An hour later, he actually reached out to Ken and go, you know what? Larry did hurt my feelings, but everything he said was correct, and I'm doing it. The second guy never showed up, right? And then the third guy last week was, again, we told him what to do, and he did exactly what it was. This I don't know what her problem is, but if she comes on this show and can't answer a question like, what do you do? I don't know what to tell you.
Well, if you don't know what to tell us, shut up, and then you can listen.
Listen to what? She never answered the question.
We could have moved on to another question.
Well, like what?
I have a whole
Where
list
do
of
you
them.
where do you buy your shoes?
Dan,
I mean,
Dan came prepared for this. He had questions.
You had
so
prepared for
whether-
what?
Yeah, because instead
what's
of
the first question?
you're trying to find a way to just
I just want to know what she
attack
did.
somebody. My question was, do you want to continue what you're doing in this space and monetize that,
Great.
or take it in a different
Stop.
direction? That was it.
Ask the question again.
Do you want to continue what you're doing in this space?
What was she doing?
She
She
has
kind of
all
told
kinds
us.
of. She
The
told
group.
you what she had. She has a social media group.
She has
Of
a social
1,600
media group.
people.
Is that so? Wait, so is that what we do? Is that a business? Is that I don't know.
No, it's not a business
not yet.
She
Yeah.
was
That's what
trying
she was
to turn it
asking
into
for.
a business. She was asking for monetization. She said that.
Yeah, she wanted to monetize it. Yep.
She wants to monetize her group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and the
That's her group
ethics
too.
of
That's perfectly
does her
perfectly
group
viable.
Do.
Her group is for people that are having problems with depression and suicide and things like that.
Okay.
So
It's mental health advocacy, is what I would probably call it.
See, the funny part is you guys could explain it. You guys are doing a terrible job explaining it, but you're at least explaining it.
We're not armed with all the information to explain it properly.
Well, I understand that, but she couldn't even explain.
But
It's
you-
her
We
group.
didn't get there.
you didn't listen.
All I did was ask her a
you
question.
didn't
You got
listen.
hung up on,
all
we're
you
trying to
did-
help you, we're trying to help you. And she's like, peace, which I don't blame her.
She pieced out, man. She's like, peace, pace.
If you don't
That was
listen, one of the most
She never
underutilized.
answered the question.
I know. Look at this. He's still on.
Still
she
on it,
never
yeah.
answered the question over and over, but he's not listening.
Larry, how do we get you
Okay.
unstuck right now?
How do we get you to listen?
Listen to what?
Listen.
I'm listening to you. I hear you. I have headphones on.
Yeah. Okay.
That's unusual.
That's
I
very
can't
good.
usually hear without the headphones on, so I like it when I have headphones on.
You hear, but you do not listen.
Yeah. That's
Okay, what would you like me to listen to?
Ken? Ken's in charge.
I try. I don't know, Larry. I think that a lot of times you judge before you listen.
I don't judge at all. It's completely opposite. I make no judgments at all until people start to prove
You
themselves.
called her a half a dozen names within the first.
Woo woo. As soon as he said woo woo, I was like, oh snap!
I don't
know
find
what
that
that is.
insulting. I find that just as a category.
Yeah, well, woo
you
woo.
called
I mean,
her-
I know people who are woo woo and they're proud to say the words woo woo.
Yeah, you called her a baby. You said,
I called her that after she got off the line.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So
So to me, running away is a childish act.
yeah, well, that's what you're doing. You're labeling her and you're calling her names.
It
It reminds me of a certain politician that just calls people's names, because what it does is it diminishes what they're saying and what they're doing, and that's an attempt to make yourself bigger.
No, it's not an attempt to make myself bigger. It's an attempt to get to the bottom line so I can help her.
Okay, but there's other ways of
That's all
accomplishing
it
that.
was.
Yeah,
You said I judge people. I do not judge people. I'm judging her now because she ran away.
yeah.
Now, at the same time, if she comes back on the line right now, I'll be more than happy to help her.
I get it. But
I can't
there
help
were
someone.
other you could have if you had just stopped,
Okay.
right? If you'd stopped earlier, and then you had listened to, say, Dan's questions or something like that, and he drew out more of it.
He couldn't ask the first question until we knew what she did. I just wanted to clarify what she did or what she was going to do.
I think he had a concept to be able to ask questions.
How do you?
He had a whole list.
How do you ask that first question? Do you want to continue what you do if you don't know what she does?
But up until that point, she did explain what she's doing in this
already-
community
She
on an
said she has a
informal basis.
Facebook group.
She already did. She
It's,
explained
it's,
it.
it's
That's
a community.
what she's got.
It's a community.
Okay, great. So,
That's what
so
she got.
she has a
She doesn't have a
she
business
moderates a Facebook group.
yet. Yeah, she
Okay,
does.
if she would have said that, I probably would have chuckled, but at least I would have known what she does.
Yeah. Well, she did say that. You just didn't listen. So there you go.
No, she didn't say it. She didn't say it when I asked. I was hoping she would clarify it more.
I know.
You know,
I don't think there was that much more to clarify.
I think you're right, and I think that was the problem with her, not with me. The problem with her was I don't really know what I do, so I'm going to run away because now I'm embarrassed. That was the impression I got. Now you guys can decide for yourself why she ran away, and it really doesn't matter if it's me or if it's her. What matters is she ran away and she learned nothing.
So we lost the opportunity to do that one. That's basically
We had a great show though.
If you think you and me arguing
People
is,
like train
is a
wrecks.
great
This
show.
is great. Yes, it's great. That's what I drove an hour and 10 minutes for. Oh well.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I think that somehow we have to get to the core question, and I think the premise of this whole show is that we help people to achieve their goals. And I always say that on hot seats because hot seats are hot. I mean, I think that I think we have to explain the obstacles that are in front of people if they're standing in a pit. But I don't think we need to put our limitations on other people's dreams, because the dreams that people have, just because we can't do them or we can't imagine ourselves doing them or we can't imagine anybody doing them, doesn't mean that somebody can't do them. Because
That's very true.
Because
Look at Helen Keller, for example.
yeah. Well, look at anybody. I mean, look at Elon Musk or something like that. I mean, the guy's crazy. The guy is crazy. If you
Sure.
put him on here and asked him what the heck he did, I'm not sure he'd be able to articulate it. Maybe he would, maybe not. But he's built things, and he's lived through a lot of abuse and stuff like that. I mean, I think some people are not as tolerant of being directly confronted as other people, and I don't like it. I don't like it as a human being when there's dissension among other people. I think that we can get along. I've tried for years to get along with Larry, and I'm semi-successful at it, but I think we can do so much more working together than we ever could apart. So that's just my theory on the thing. I'm all for reality checks. I'm all for protecting people. So if there are legal problems in this, they should be pointed out. So there are legal problems in the mental health field if you're trying to coach people and you're trying to mentor people.
So here's what we got for her so far, right? She needs to define what she does, and the word coach is much better when she wants to go out there and says she's doing something with mental health. She needs to use the word coach.
But that has legal implications, possibly.
It might.
That's what she was saying.
It might.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense too.
You could use other. You could change agent. You can use what was the other one?
Mental health change agent.
Advocate.
Yeah, advocate. Advocate's great.
I think she's more of an advocate than because she is not doing coaching. I don't think she's recommending particular, treatments for.
No,
things.
and that's what she has to be really careful.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now she's going to have a Facebook group. She has to be really careful what's posted on that Facebook group, because within a group, if somebody within the group says something and triggers someone in that group,
yeah,
it could be bad.
It's really difficult. I mean, I did the Speak Up Save Lives campaign, which was focused around suicide and getting a simple message of hope. One of the things we did was we kept it simple. What were the things that you actually can do on a practical level if somebody's going to commit suicide? People who are going to commit suicide need to be aware that people are aware of them. In other words, that they care about you at all, because they don't see the hope in the world. They don't see that kind of a thing. And I think she can offer lots of general advice about what to do if you're depressed. What are the resources that you can go to?
What happens if she gives advice to some? If she's claiming
I get
to
it.
be anything, it's really dangerous.
It's a fine line. Just like, by the way, financial stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's easy to cross the line.
Yeah, but it's not. But the nice thing about financial stuff is it's just advice.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not like where somebody could take their life or do something they shouldn't do.
People take their lives over financial stuff all the time.
No, I understand.
Yeah. So wouldn't the analogy be like a support group, like an AA or NA or something like that? That's not facilitated by a licensed clinician, where you are not there to, we're there to share stories, we're there to give support, we're there to get to, possible exposing root issues, and then we make available resources where if you need that next level, you take it, but you're not going to get it here.
Yeah.
And that's very explicit and very clear. And there's no legal precautions for those type of support groups.
I don't know. Maybe that's just the thing that they've built up over the years.
So George Bruno is watching.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of suggestions. The word facilitator, organizer, or leader.
Yeah.
It's all of those could work. I just don't know. I just would be really careful.
Leader is a good one. Facilitator, probably no, because that almost gives the implication that you're a mental health facilitator, which means a practitioner, and I wouldn't use that one. But the other two are good. I like leader. Leader, change agent.
Thought leader.
Yeah.
So I used to do, a while back, I used to do a divorce support group, where I would just a meetup group, and we would meet for dinner, and we would all talk about, what was going on.
Yeah.
And I did that for about a year and a half, and that was actually, it was great. I could see it helping people. So maybe that's something she wants to do. I don't know, but I didn't monetize it.
Let's explore just a little bit the idea of, just in general, whether it's mental health or anything else, the monetization of groups.
Well, it's Larry. You just deleted a comment of somebody was in the chat of somebody was talking about some ways to monetize a group.
No, that was a spam.
I don't think it was.
Oh, it was.
It was saying if you want to, I didn't see any particular products attached to it.
If you want to monetize your channel.
Oh, it was channel. Okay.
No, this was a spam.
Okay.
I recognize them all the time.
But
some
of the.
But that's a good question anyway.
That was a spam.
How do you monetize
this? What can we take away from that is that you can do affiliate stuff, right? That was actually in that spam text.
Yeah, the funny part is it was a spam, but the funny part was there might have been some stuff we could have pulled out of that conversation.
Items, but
it was spam.
How can you spam groups?
Right.
Don't want to do that.
Just buy this course. I'll show you how.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me that small groups. You talk about 1,600 people. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, that's not a small group at all. Ken.
But a Facebook group.
Yeah.
So how many people are actually interacting?
Well, it depends. I think.
We'll never know. Actually.
Yeah, I was going to go to the group and I was going to pull it up.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what it is. But again, 1,600, it's not small. I agree. But how many are actually interactive?
Well,
You know?
they get more interactive. Curation, I think, makes a lot of difference. How active are you in the channel? So if you're going to do a group, I've noticed in the filmmakers group that I run, it could easily be monetized now at this point, and we've got, I think, 12,000 people or something like that in there.
Yeah, that's
now.
pretty good. How many people are active?
Lots.
Okay, good.
Lots, because they're posting, job listings or castings, or they're
Great.
posting equipment, or they're posting all these different kinds of things, all of which can be monetized through education and those kind of offerings, whether it's info product or it's mugs.
Yeah.
Apparently she sold some mugs, right?
Yeah.
So building that atmosphere and stuff like that. I think there's lots of ways to monetize that, and we think that you have to have tons and tons of numbers to do that, and in some levels you do. I think interaction is the key. How interactive are they? I always remember
Absolutely.
going back to Jeff Walker, and he started. He did his first $1 million launch, and I think he had 350 or something like that people in a group that paid for his newsletter or something like that, and he still did a $1 million launch off of that. So it doesn't take thousands and thousands of people. Just imagine if you had 1,600 people in a room.
The kind of money you can make if they were fervent and passionate
Yeah.
about about what you're talking about. I think the mental health stuff, activity, that's a valid question, because how many people are in? I guess it takes some effort, definitely, to share the fact that you have a mental illness. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it takes some energy to be able to do that and sign up to a group and then to participate and say, geez, I'm feeling this way. I hear voices, or I want to shoot myself, or whatever. It takes a lot of courage. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a rhetorical question, but how active would a group like that be? I would be curious to know. 1,600 people, do they talk every day about their lives, or is it?
But it's not 15. If 1,500 people subscribe to the group, that doesn't mean that they're all going to be interactive.
No, that's my
if she has
point.
50 that are interactive, that's phenomenal.
That are hardcore.
Yeah. Well, these are people that are going through problems, so
It's a little bit different. They're going to come and go, I
Yeah.
think.
They probably do come and go, but what's the value of saving one life?
Oh,
Priceless.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, hats off to her for
For doing what she's
doing what she's doing and
Yeah.
trying to help people, because
So to me, I just question whether she's doing it or not. And I don't mean that to insult her. I mean it, is she really helping people, or does she think she's helping people?
I think a simple, kind word at the right time can help people through all kinds of things.
Maybe.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen it myself. Absolutely, without fail.
But is that any different than just a friend?
So,
No. I'm not, don't misunderstand. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
is she just being a friend to a couple of people, and maybe
she's
one
trying
person-
to be a friend to 1,600 people.
right?
I think,
But is she right?
Well,
Then in that case, she becomes a leader.
yeah. That's an interesting topic too, because I think we're desperate. Obviously, we're desperate for good, solid leaders and people that step up and take a hold of something that's important to do, because everybody is, I think the majority of people are in this same boat, that they don't have a clear idea of exactly which direction to go in, and they're looking for people to tell them, go this way, this is what's going to help with your problems.
Yeah, and that's where we got to be careful who we bring on this show. It's like, I just want to come here to find out what I want to do. That's not what this show's about.
I don't know, it might be.
Could be.
Why not?
I
Give me an
think-
argument here. Why?
I think it would be too short of a show. Hey, I'm a housewife and I want to do something, or I'm a Uber driver and I want to do something. I mean,
we do that.
So actually, I had an idea
That's not-
that occurred to me during the Impact event
Yeah.
of answering that very question of It's something that Kellen Flukiger does, which is defining what you can do as a profession based on what skills you already have and what your passion projects are. So I was going to actually use GPT to write a bot. We can call it, Find Your Way bot. I don't care. We'll figure it out. We'll put that on impactmasterpanel.com. So if you're at that stage, use that bot. Drop us a line. We'll give you some pointers. That doesn't require a whole show. But then this focus of the show should be something that's already like at least an MVP.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be started. A business that's started. It's hey, I want to start this business next month. This is exactly what I want to do. I just don't know how to do it. That would be a good show. Or somebody who like the doctor last week. That's exactly what that show was about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. The guy before that 2 weeks ago. He's got something going. He just needed help, and he was all upset that I was bashing him, but at the same time. Help! I gave him help. You gave him help. We all gave him help. And sure enough, he came back and said, "You know what? You guys are right." Because we'll put them on the spot. It's a hot seat. Please explain to people before you book them, Ken, what a hot seat is. They're going to be really uncomfortable.
I don't think they have to be uncomfortable. I think you make them uncomfortable. So there you go.
It's in the delivery.
I
can make somebody very uncomfortable with just a series of questions eking out how bad their business is.
Right.
Like
Suddenly I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, but we didn't even get there.
I know, that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
How uncomfortable can you be if I ask you a question? What do you do?
Why don't we challenge? Why don't we see how nice I can be to somebody and make them feel uncomfortable and show you that it's still effective?
It doesn't matter. If they're uncomfortable and they run away, who cares?
They won't run away.
If they're uncomfortable and they don't run away, it's fine.
Right. That's what my goal is.
Wait, say that again?
That's what my goal is, well, I don't want to make somebody uncomfortable, but I can, or at least expose the weaknesses in their business plan while still being tactful about it.
Fine. I just wanted to know what she did.
It's like a ground loop.
Yeah, I know. It's like we don't even need Larry here. It just repeats that loop forever.
How would you have changed the question?
We didn't even get to the question. I think that's what the problem. That's the point you're
She
missing.
needed a few more minutes.
That's the point. I needed to know what she did.
But that was your need. The focus should be on her needs.
It is focused on her. How can I help her if I don't know what she does?
You could just shut up and listen.
Okay.
I told you that before.
Next time I'm going to shut up and listen. Okay. All right?
Try it out.
Here's what I'm speculating is that she got frustrated about the whole title thing and went to kind of shut it down.
It's
say
possible.
We're not talking about the title. And then you said, no, we're the ones in charge here. This is our show. We're helping you. And then she's like,
she
I'm
wouldn't
out.
stop. She was rambling on about how, she gave us the impression she was much better than us. But I didn't care about that. What I really wanted to know was what she did.
I didn't think she did.
Anybody else get that impression?
We can go back and watch it again. But the point was, I just wanted to know what she did. We were 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the show, and we still didn't know what she did.
I knew what she did. Did you know what she did?
Yeah, she had a Facebook group. You told me already.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anybody else out there that has a Facebook group that can do a full hour show on your Facebook group? Let us know.
You know what we do at the one day intensive events. We do people that are starting out from nothing. So
how long do you give them?
We give them a half an hour at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we could probably go on longer if we had the time. So, I think. We can't help everybody. Everybody has to make their choices. You make choices every single day, and sometimes you're not ready to make those choices yet. You're still trying to figure out what the heck you want to do. And, we can choose to open up this show to people that are only at the cusp of going really big, or we can choose, where the minimum bar goes for the show in particular. But I don't think it's just about what you do. You mentioned that,
right.
the what you do and how you do it kind of things. I think that the more important questions are usually the why questions. So I think that's what keeps you going. The other questions are easy. Huh?
I couldn't get to why until I knew what she did. I'm sorry. You guys.
I know.
Maybe you guys are brighter than me, which I actually have no problem believing that. You probably are. But the point is, if I don't know what she does, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
All I want to do is what she does.
I know. So, it's just my opinion, Larry. It's just my opinion, but my opinion is that if you don't know how to help and you're on a panel, then just listen for a while until you do.
I just need to know what she does.
Yeah, that's your need.
Yes,
what
my need to help her is to know what she does.
I know.
Larry, I got to ask you something now. Why does it always have to be you're brighter than me? Or you guys think you're brighter? Why is it turned into that? And here's why.
Well, you guys?
Remember? Yeah. Why you always have to make it like, do you think this or maybe you guys are? Why does it have to be like so black and white?
I still don't understand the question.
Okay, you had just said maybe you guys are brighter than me. Like you kind of just like.
Well, I was using that because I was trying to say that. I don't remember. I used it to lead into something.
Yeah.
And I said, actually, maybe you guys are, but that's okay. I mean, you're very smart. He's very smart, and he's very smart. I believe I'm very smart too, but just in certain in certain areas, just like you are.
Yeah, it's just like us.
I know,
so we all have different experiences. Here's my take on it, Larry.
You cut him off. He was interrogating me.
Right. It sounded.
I'm sorry. Wait, no. He was interrogating me, and you cut him off.
Okay.
I thought you were supposed to sit back and listen.
Hey, Larry, I don't need you to fight my battles.
Next to leave is it's gonna be like last man
Maybe we should
standing.
get for Tbone the line to see if she can help me.
She probably could.
I don't think so.
Yeah, me either. Actually, now come to think about it.
Well,
I don't think it's me that's the problem in that case.
well, yeah.
It's just the basic point. The basic point is that if you've tried for 10 minutes to get something out of somebody, right? It's and you aren't getting anywhere with it. It's time to see if somebody else could go down the other route. That's my only point on it. So
whatever she would have said then, I was going to shut up.
Yeah,
because I was already frustrated.
I know.
But all she had to do was say, well, her answer to my question of what do you do is, I'm not listening to this anymore. I'm leaving. That's not the answer. The answer is tell me what you do, because whatever, let's go.
That's your answer.
We have 1 hour to do this show. I don't have an hour of her rambling.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I was interviewing her, I need to know what she does.
Yeah. So do we want to take a standard? I'm just curious around the table because there's 3 people plus me. Do we want to make a standard of the project should all be in certain stage of development, or do we want to explore ideas with people that say, maybe I don't know what I want to do. I'm in this situation. I'd like to help people. I've done this so far. I built a community to try and help people, but what should I do next? Is that a valid project or for this group, or is it not?
I think it is.
Let's take a one at a time.
Oh, I don't have a vote. I have a solution.
What's the solution?
Is apply, and if maybe, all right. So maybe I don't have a solution. Apply, but if we feel that it's not ready for the show, we tell you why, and we give you some action steps.
Why would you
we all talk about wanting to help as many people as possible. We only have 1 hour a week to do this. We can't. With the people applying, the people dropping in the Facebook group. No, so maybe there should be. Yes, there is a standard for the show, for the hot seat on the show.
Mean, how rude is she? She took up this show that was her show that could have gone to somebody else, right? Because she couldn't answer the question of what she does. She could have hung in there, and maybe she could have said, I'm an effing asshole. She could have said that. I don't care. But if she would have hung in there, she might have gotten some advice, and somebody on watching the show might have gotten some interesting information on how to run their business. Instead, she ran away.
It's not helpful at this point, to the reasons.
So now we need people to come on the show that are worthy to be on the show.
I'm not willing to make a judgment about whether she's worthy to be on the show.
Well, she was worthy until she showed up and then wasted the hour.
That was her choice. We all make choices.
I'm okay with her choice, but she ruined it for everybody else. Frank drove an hour and a half here.
Hour 10.
Hour and 10 minutes, right? I had things to do today. You had things to do today. We put this side to side, and people watch the show. People stopped watching the show half an hour ago because she ran away. We would have been able to get people to at least learn something.
Yeah.
I agree.
So now we need people, and
opportunity.
then 2 weeks ago we had somebody who couldn't understand the difference between Pacific time and Eastern time. Really?
Well, I'm explaining that in great detail now.
Yes,
I've learned
exactly.
my lesson. I'm doing it over and over again. Even if they're in Eastern time, I tell them, to
Yeah, I mean,
be on in Eastern time.
if you said it was okay for her to be in the car, that's fine. I just think that was weird.
I thought it was perfectly on brand for her, for what I've seen so far.
I don't know. I just look at people. If they're really serious, they're at their desk, they're taking notes.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people in cars because it's
Fine.
quiet.
No, all right. I mean, okay. I'll let that one go. I just think that if you're serious, you're serious.
Yeah, let's just figure out what we can do things better in the future because we need good solid projects to do this. We need to get them to fill out the information in advance. And so if you want to be on the hot seat, if you found any value or think we can provide any value, you should go to impactmasterpanel.com and fill out the sheet and apply to be on there. And you can argue with Larry or Dan or Frank or me as long as you want.
And the best part
and then
is
you can
you're
throw
going to
their
learn
part.
something.
Yeah, you can
You're
learn
going to
something.
learn how to build your business, and so will other people.
Yeah,
That's why we have this show, to help people.
yeah. All right. So, are you guys have any final words for this podcast?
Remember how I said I was going to sign off was be a fountain, not a drain.
Be a fountain, not a drain. I like that one.
What he said.
Yeah.
My head hurts.
This is
Yeah, I get it.
this
I
is
get
a
it.
hot seat.
That's Larry's last, and mine is you make a difference whether you want to or not, and it could be a bad difference or it could be a good difference, and the smallest things can make a huge difference. So go out there, try to do something nice to somebody, try and lift them up, and hopefully they'll have a better day. So I hope that whatever you've learned out of this podcast, you apply in your life, because it's doing things that makes the difference, not just thinking about those things. So if you want to put something in action and you want to put it on the hot seat, go to impactmasterpanel.com, and I think we'll wrap it up right there. So everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.